Told you. Who told you? Who told you? Who told you? You what? God design, God design.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining the Exotic Boerboels Show. I'm your host, Jordan Pittman, where we promote this breed that we love. I'm here today. Thank you for joining me. I hope that everyone had a productive week, and we're excited to be here once again. Welcome to the Boerboels Show, where we promote the breed that we love, we feel is the best breed in the world. We're here to give you all the information and tools that you use, that you can use to become the best Boerboel enthusiast that you could possibly be. Thank you for joining. Today we're going to be discussing tips and tricks for taking pictures of your dogs. And we tend to think that, oh wow, this is something that's simple, easy enough to do. And a lot of times we get down to that moment where we're going to take pictures of the dogs, and we find that, oh my God, the dog won't be still. I got to take 100,000 pictures just to get that one money shot, or what I call the money shot, because it's the shot that we was trying to get. And it takes a little bit of skill. Myself, I have been trained in graphic design, web development, computer networking. So, and I have a little bit of experience because I would take pictures of people's dogs, help them put their dogs on the website. And in doing that, I learned a few tips and tricks. This is not exactly, well, this is very relevant information. So tune in. We're going to be sharing some good information here. And it may not seem that it applies to you, but it definitely is information that you can use. It'll help you in the future. But one day you decide that you want to take some pictures of your dog, and then you'll find this comes very in handy. So today I brought a couple pictures that I got from the Canine Chronicles magazine. And you see here, this dog is a Doberman. We also have an English Mastiff. Can you see that? Got a giant Schnauzer, a Bloodhound, and this is all from the Canine Chronicles. And we're gonna get to the point. We moving fast because we don't have time to waste. And then we also have, finally, a Gordon Setter. So you can always rewind. If you missed any of those pictures, you can go back and see. I brought those examples to show what do all of these dogs have in common. And the one thing that you would notice with each and every dog, that they're standing at attention. And you want to present your dog like a supermodel to the world. What's going on, family? So you're going to present your dog as if it's in his best capacity. And you want to show the dog with confidence, imposing, a courageous stance. And that, when you present the dog, what's going on? When you present the dog that way, it gives the idea of a champion. You want to present the dog with confidence. You want to present the dog when he has at full attention. And think about when dogs first meet each other and they come up. One dog wants to look like he's the bigger dog, so he takes that pose where he's trying to stand over the other dog. And perception is everything with dogs. Body language means a whole lot. So it gives confidence. They're not really looking to go into battle because that it can be detrimental to the dog's health and longevity. So the bigger dog always tends to win. The dog that looks the most imposing, that looks the most confidence. And this is the display that we're going to put on for the world. This is this is how we want to present the dog to the world. Think about how a model walks the runway. They got their shoulders back, their head is up, they're presenting themselves with confidence and courageousness. You know, the look of a champion. Their shoulders is up, their head is high. What this does is it talks to your subconscious. It speaks to the subconscious, and it gives the impression that I'm a winner, I'm a champion. And in order to, so we're going to try to capture that essence with our dogs when we begin to share the dogs. And I've done this many years, and it has some obstacles to overcome. If you're not experienced with the camera, we're going to try to help you with that. So today, that's what this lesson is all about. I have been doing this for many years, and I know how difficult that it can be. You would think that it's something that's very simple to do. I'm just going to take some pictures of the dog, later to find out I got to take a million pictures. This takes hours. I can't seem to get the dog in the shot that I would like to have. And it's not as easy as it first appears. I mean, a lot of times you see people taking pictures of their dogs and you think I can't wait till my time. So number one that we want to do is understand and know our equipment. What are we going to be shooting the pictures with? And this is very important coming up with this day and age, a lot of digital. I come from the era when we had flip phones. The flip phones didn't take very high quality pictures. So I would have another camera on the side. Always kept me a camera for photography to take pictures of my dogs and also my children. And I would always have that. So you have to get familiar with your equipment, because you want to know the best way to operate it and the optimal settings for taking pictures. There's a lot of different settings that you can apply. Not all of them are going to be best for taking pictures of your dogs. So you want to take the pictures that you want to, the settings that you try to use, or you want to keep in mind that the dog is going to be fast moving, and they're going to give you a whole lot of different poses and looks and stances. And you want to capture that ideal stance. Remember that we're looking for the stance of confidence. We're looking for that picture with strength that's showing the dog as a champion. So you keep your camera settings. A lot of as time has evolved, we use nowadays the camera phone, because of the power of the camera phone has replaced a lot of cell phones and really has replaced a lot of cameras. Cell phones have the capabilities, and they're amazing at some of the pictures that they can do. So you still need to know how to use your camera, the best way to use your camera, the best way to use your phone. And in order to capture this championship post, what I call is the money shot. And you need to have an idea of what you want to capture before you get started, because you want to plan this out. It's not something that you're going to easily be able to do without a whole lot of thought into it. And if you ever took pictures of your dog, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. So you want to set the tone, set the stage for success. And it's going to eliminate a lot of problems in the long term. And we talk about the pictures, we talk about your online presence and establishing yourself online, because all it takes is really one picture. And nowadays, this is the digital information age. You can tell a lot from the pictures. The pictures is, first thing somebody wants to see if you ever present your dog is, hey, can I see a couple pictures? And you want to give them the best impression of the dog, because the first impression is always the lasting impression. With that being said, we're trying to, and there's a lot of different reasons that you might do this. You might just want to share your dog with the world, friends and family. You might want to build your presence online as a stud dog, or if you got plans in the future to be a breeding operation, if you would like to show your dog, and if you anytime that you're trying to present your dog, this is going to come in handy, whether it be for Instagram, Facebook. Pancake, Pancake, come here. What are you, Pancake? Pancake always has to be involved. Sit. She's right there. So a lot of times you see my dogs, the pictures and the poses that I take is to really represent all the dog has to offer. And that's why we use a lot of times. Pancake, come back over here. A lot of times what we do, we're trying to present the totality of the dog. We want to show you from head to toe. And if you look at all of these pictures, that's one of the things. We can go back into those pictures. One thing that is in common with all of the pictures is they're presenting the dog. You can see all four toes, all four legs, the nose, and the tail. So you got the nose, the toes, the tail, the complete dog. Because we do not want to give anybody the impression that we're trying to hide anything. So taking pictures of your dog is really something that is overlooked. And if you want to have great success, you want to be long, you could take a picture, and that picture will stamp the dog in its breed history. So capturing that, remember that we want to present the dog with power and strength. We got to get to know the equipment that we're going to be using, and we're prepared to take pictures for sports, high shutter speed, because we only have a few seconds to catch the dog in the ideal pose. The dogs are always interested, and it seems like when it comes time to take the pictures of the dog, you never can get them to be still. So we need to have a fast moving shutter. Our shutter speed needs to be high. We want to set it up for as if we're taking action photos. If you're going to be using a standalone camera, or if you're going to be using your phone, you want to be familiar with how you're going to take pictures, to take a bunch of pictures and rapid fire type of pictures that you're going to be taking. Well, or bursts of pictures, and in sports mode. So with that understood, you're going to be taking a lot of pictures, and you might take over 100 pictures. A lot of times I take way more pictures than I actually use. And because we want to have that one ideal shot, and comparing to other dogs, because remember, your dog is going to be compared to millions or hundreds of thousands or thousands of other dogs online. And we want to give our dog the best chance for success. So we talked about the shutter speed and knowing the equipment. We want to take a bunch of pictures. With that understood, the next key point is going to be lighting. Remember, we're setting the stage. So we're going to go to a well-lit area, preferably either early morning or closer to sunset, because you want to capture natural light is the best, but you want to capture the dog with optimal lighting. And the sun gives off a warm, natural glow. You'll be able to capture the dog without a bunch of shadows. If you go at the brightest time of the day, it doesn't have the ideal what's known as luminosity. So you want to shoot your dog pictures around early morning or later on in the evening, closer to sunset. If you're going to be outside, that's the natural setting. It's the natural way to take the pictures. Just the natural lighting, I'll say. So we setting the stage. We're going to take our back to the sun. Remember, we want the light to shine on our subject, which is the dog. I see a lot of pictures where the person is shooting the dog in the shadows because they are facing the sun. You will need to have your dog in the sun, and you're going to be with your back to the sun. So that's something always to remember. Now, here comes the real interesting part. And I want everybody to really pay attention to this, because this is where a lot of people tend to make a big mistakes. It's perspective. And we're gonna let me open this up so you can see one of the most famous dogs of all time. Well, let's show this is without being a mastering digital photography or graphic design. We're gonna give you some tips. This is known as perspective. So let's show that. Okay. The perspective of the dogs, it gives you the idea that some things are larger than others, and it's somewhat of a digital illusion. Here's a really good picture, and you wonder, how do we accomplish this, and why is this relevant? Look at these pictures of the dogs. This is a really good one. See how this dog looks like he's giant. And I want to show you guys somebody that's world famous from doing this. Is the Hulk. We all know who the Hulk is, and if you don't know, here's some pictures of the Hulk. What they're doing is, this is called forced perspective. DDK9, or I forget his real name. But if you don't know, Hulk is the world famous 175-pound pit bull, which in itself is anomaly, because we know from my era, pit bulls don't come 175 pounds. The classic pit bull is about 35 to 40, 55 pounds. But I can't think of this guy's name. He's a master at this. You always see when he takes pictures, the dog is way out in front. He's standing to the back, and it gives you the impression that the dog is much larger than it is. So how do we set the stage for a picture like this? Oh, his name is Marlin. Now that I think about it. Yeah, his name is Marlin. If you ever notice, and I think he's even trained everybody that's taking pictures with the dog, that this is the way to do it. He always is further back. He always takes the stance far back. Here's a picture of the dog on a parallel field with his son, and the dog doesn't look as large as as he would like to present it. But always, in all of the pictures, he's far behind the dog. And what we do is we set our background and our foreground. It needs to kind of blend. So because pictures are two definition or two dimension, what this does is it gives you you can't really tell depth. And if you're looking at this picture, the dog is up closer to the front of the screen. So objects that are closer to the camera lens are going to appear much bigger than those that are farther away. And you see he's leaning back towards the end of the couch, and you got the Hulk here. It's closer to the very front of the couch. And this is depth perception, or force perception, is what they call in photography. And it gives you the idea that this dog is much larger than it actually is. So we want to keep this in mind when we're taking pictures of our dogs. We want to have them at least at level with the lens. Here we go again. His wife and his baby is farther behind the dog, and the dog is up front. And he's also shooting with the camera lens at eye level or below. We don't want to shoot down on top of the dog because that naturally makes the dog appear smaller. And we already, as human beings, we're up taller than the dog. So we want to take now. Here's an example of I never really take pictures like this with me holding up the dog. But then again, Marlin is behind the dog and the dog is up closer to the camera. And it gives you the impression that this dog is much larger than it actually is. Here's a picture where the dog is more level with the family or on the same plane as the family as the human being. And the dog looks like it's a lot more closer to this actual size, representing this actual size. Here we go again. Another picture with the dog way up front, and then Marlin is leaning way back. So you think that, wow, this is a humongous dog. And the dog goes down in history as one of the biggest dogs that you have ever saw. Here we go again. Dog and perception. So this guy has got famous because he is having the biggest dog, the biggest pit bull in history. If you know dogs, if you're really a serious dog man, what I call this, and it's not knocking this dog at all, I call it a cur, a giant cur. And it's just another term that we use to describe certain class of pit bulls. Here we go again. Another picture with the dog way up front, and then the dog, the human being is in the back. In this picture, the dog looks like he's big as a house, or he's as big as the kennel. We know that's not the case. And you would say, oh, he's using Photoshop. No, but this guy should be well known for he's a master of perception, of force perception. And that's what it's marketing. You want to build your presence online. This is the way to go. This dog is world famous, and he's made quite a name for himself off of the fame from this dog. So you want to try to mimic that type of success. Here are the blueprints for doing that. One thing that you want to keep in consideration is your website. And I can't mention this enough. A lot of people tend to say, they're doing this for the gram. Well, if you were around 10 or 15 years ago, prior to the Instagram taking off and being the social media platform of choice, there was MySpace. And now even Instagram is at threat because we got TikTok emerging as a dominant social media platform. And it kind of changes with the ages. As the internet is constantly evolving, technology is growing, you have different preferences for sharing in, social media. That's why I tend to put more interest or real estate into my website, because you have more control of your website than anything else. The social media comes and goes. They give the ability they could take your page away altogether. And that, pay attention here, y'all. They could take your page away altogether, block you. They put people in Facebook jail. But your website is your domain that you are in control of. See, again, Marlin is a master of perception. He gives the impression that his dogs are very large. Remember, that's his key selling point, the largest pit bull in dog history. And so he has to present the dog that way. You'll notice that he's always closer to the back behind the dogs, and then the dogs is up front. He's even taught his family members to do the same thing. Dog up front. This is not the best picture, but the family members towards the back. You want to put quite a bit of real estate into online real estate into your website. The website is permanent. You're going to use these other social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and you want to send that traffic back to your website. People that's interested, is your website is going to have a lot of staying power, and it's going to be there beyond the popular social media platforms. Like I said, they're using MySpace as the example for social media platforms that have become obsolete. People don't even use MySpace no more. And then we don't want all of this hard work that we dedicated to our MySpace to go to waste. So we're going to develop our website where we have more control, long lasting longevity, longer staying power. So there we go. If you don't know, I hope you know now. Finally, we're going to take pictures of the dog. We want the dog to be the main point of reference. So you're going to have zoom in on the dog. Oftentimes I see a lot of people have pictures of the dog. It's a really good picture of the dog, but it's a small picture of the dog. Let's get this off the background. It's a small picture of the dog. And you have majority of the background. If you look at the pictures here, you see these are my puppies on the porch. I'm down, so it makes it easier for me to capture the dog's level with the camera lens, and I'm zoomed in on the dogs. I'm very close to the dog, so I'm capturing more dog than anything else because I want that to be the main focus of the pictures. So the best time to reach me anytime, family. You can call me anytime and we could talk about it. 9 to 4 when my children are at school is the best time for me. And then because I don't have a lot of other stuff going on, we're gonna move over to the comments. So yeah, you but anytime though, I'm taking calls. I'm waking up, diving to the phone. Pancake, what are you doing? Pancake! Sorry about that. She just can't help but to be involved. Yeah, but you can give me a call anytime. What's going on? James, that's Mako's dad. We really proud of you, James, man. Everything that you're doing with Mako. John Nelson was good. I just took your question. Monroe, always on deck. My main man. If anybody have any questions, now will be the time to post them. And I think that this is really important information because we all would like to, the dogs are our children and we want them to be they like our children, and we want to present them in the best way. So these are my tips and tricks, and it's something that I always use. I take a lot of pictures of my dogs. At one point in my life, I had more pictures of my dogs in my phone than I did my own children. I had to really talk to myself. I said, pancake. I'm sorry about that, folks. I don't know why she wants, come here. I know what to do. She wants me to rub her. But yeah, at one point in my life, I had more pictures of my dogs in my phone than I did my own family. And I said, listen, this is a little bit ridiculous. I'm missing out on very important times of my children's upbringing because, well, I'm not capturing that enough. It seems like it gives the wrong impression when I go to show people pictures in my phone to show my children. I got to go through hundreds of dog photos. But anyway, because I have to take so many pictures in order to capture the ones that I would like to present my dogs in the best way. Nowadays, the picture is becoming a little bit obsolete. To me, it's always about video. I like to get a lot more videos because videos, you can really see the dog's movement. It tells a lot more of the story to tell. You get a real idea of what the dog is able, how he carries himself. It really speaks volumes to that. So today we fast forwarded. If anybody got any questions, I'll take them now. If not, we're going to end the live and I'm going to catch you guys next week. That pretty much covered everything that I wanted to talk about today. Let me see. Let me take a look at my notes. Back to the sun. So this closing out, we're going to take pictures with our back to the sun. Camera lens on the level playing field with the dog's eyes. We're going to level the camera up with the dog's eyes. We want to capture the dog in a confident championship pose. We're going to take a lot of pictures. We're going to take a lot of pictures we're going to put the camera on sports mode for fast shutter speed. And that's going to do it for today, y'all. I hope that y'all enjoyed the show. We always trying to do some new things and make it better. If you got any suggestions, let me know. Until next time, you can call me if you got anything that you would like to discuss on a one-on-one. And we got quite a few litters and breedings that we have completed. Website is being updated constantly. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. Exotic Boerboel Familia is we on our way, y'all. They're gonna respect us one day. Until next week, you don't forget to make every day count.
No rush, go and move dumb. Back and forth, push and shove. Make your peace and love turn to peace and gloves. Now you gotta do a run up. No rush, go and move dumb. Back and forth, push and shove. Make your peace and love turn to peace and now you gotta do a run up. Go gang, go man.